What's up, everybody? This is Palm City Chucks, and we are back for our first ever baseball episode.
That's
That is super exciting. And before we kick things off here, I feel like Kris and I owe you an apology for our tardiness in getting this
yeah,
posted. We'd mentioned on our last podcast this weekend that we'd plan to post this on Saturday, maybe Sunday. Well, that didn't happen. Life hit. I got called at work 3 a.m. Saturday. Ended up working until 7 a.m. and we're supposed to record Saturday morning. And frankly, it just wasn't happening.
happen.
So had to move it a little bit, but we're here now, and we are super excited to talk about the playoffs.
Yeah. And on that note, let's dive into predictions. So let's start with the AL. Every series in the playoffs is tied 1-1, so everything's up in the air still. So they're not giving us any help, basically, when we make these predictions. But
Being
in the
late didn't
AL,
hurt us here.
yeah, right. So we got Tigers versus the Guardians, and there I have the Guardians advancing. We also have Royals versus the Yankees. I have the Yankees advancing there. Guardians, Yankees going on to the next round there. But what do you have there, Chuck?
Well, uh, much of the same. In the Tigers Guardians series, I've got the Guardians moving on. Um, they've just they've got a really good bullpen, and even though their bullpen is what got them tonight, Emmanuel Clase might be the best closer in the game, and I think he'll bounce back from that 3-run shot he gave up to tie the series up at 1 here in Game 3. And they've also got Stephen Kwan. Jose Ramirez is amazing. I'll be honest, I used to make the argument as a Red Sox fan that Rafael Devers might have been better than him. I give up on that argument now. Jose's got him. That's just how it is. And then, while not much of an average guy, every MLB team's got a home run guy these days. Hits for like
Hmm.
220, but 30 dingers. And
Right.
for the Guardians, that's Josh Naylor, and he's really effective at his job. But I would love to see the Tigers go on. But seriously, they were a horrible team last year. They were playing okay this year. Bench Javi Baez, go on an insane win streak, win a wild card spot. Super awesome. And taking out the Astros in the wild card
Yeah,
round.
that's
And that already is like maybe even better than a World Series win. That was a win for America right there.
I was gonna say
So,
exactly. That's a win
yeah.
for almost everyone in the U.S.
Nobody except for Astros fans wants to see the Astros win anything else for a long
Right.
time.
Yeah, long time.
So, moving on to the other series, your Royals Yankees. Again, same as you. I've got the Yankees moving on. Royals, amazing turnaround. Like they were terrible last year, I think mid 50s in the wins, and this year they came out firing, improved by like 30 wins, and for a team that really didn't change much, it just got another year of experience.
Hmm.
That's really cool to see. That's one of the things I love about baseball the most is terrible teams can the next year just immediately become one of the best teams in the game. It's really, really cool. And accomplished for them taking out the Orioles, a team in much the same spot here. A lot of young guys playing super well, growing with each other, coming up through the minors together. And me personally, I probably would have picked the Orioles over the Royals there, but Royals came out, took that game, got here, but I think that's where their run ends. But I hope not. As a Red Sox fan, I freaking hate the Yankees. They're the bane of my existence in baseball, so I'd love to see them lose in their first round.
Yeah, that's most people that with the Yankees as well as the Astros. Just want them out. We've seen enough.
I totally agree, man. So what do you got on the NL side of the bracket for this division series?
So for the NL, we got Mets Phillies, and I'm rolling with the Phillies. Um, Been a very entertaining series so far. I'm sure it's going to remain that way. But yeah, I think the Phillies, when they are hot, they're just unstoppable. And I'm hoping game two was the spark they needed, get the bats finally going. Then we also got Padres Dodgers, and going with the upset there. Going with the Padres. Just think they got a lot of firepower, and they got some decent pitching as well. So just think hopefully it's enough to get rid of those pesky Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, our AL side of the bracket looking much of the same, but the NL side of the bracket is
Yeah,
complete opposites. So
yeah.
that's pretty cool. Um, in Mets Phillies, then I did go Mets. Maybe a little bit of bias here. I don't think so, because I really hate Philadelphia. The city,
We
the
know
sports teams, the people,
they're fans. Yeah, I know.
all of it. Yeah, exactly. You know me too well. Um,
Hurt
so
a lot.
full disclosure, there could be some bias here, but I really think the Mets take this series pretty convincingly. Beat the Brewers in the last round. I know they gave up a game, but it didn't really look like the Brewers had a chance. And I know a lot of Brewers fans out here in Wisconsin, and let me tell you, they were quite upset at the result of that series. So
Oh,
uh,
yeah. The Mets
I'm
are
pretty
really
indifferent
hot
towards
right
the
now.
Mets.
They're just
Sorry?
that crazy hot team. I feel like
Oh, yeah.
every year in the postseason for the MLB, there's like that crazy dark horse, like just hot at the right time team, and that's the Mets. So I do have the Phillies advancing, but I'd be lying if I wasn't shaking in my boots a little bit. Just a tad.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's understandable. Then the other series in the divisional on the NL side, we've got the Padres and the Dodgers, and opposite of you, I've got the Dodgers there. I can see what you're saying about the Padres. Like they look really good right now.
Hmm.
Tatis is great. You know, Machado's awesome. But the Dodgers just have so much
Yeah,
money on that team, man.
they've
So
their
much
power.
money
It's crazy.
that it's hard to see a divisional round exit for them. So I've got the Mets and the Dodgers playing each other in the championship series in the NL.
That would suck.
Good
Anyway,
baseball though.
yeah, that's baseball. Back to the AL. So I have Guardians going up against the Yankees. This one I expect to be a pretty good matchup. I could see it going either way, but I'm rolling with the Guardians. Can't physically pick the Yankees. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't write it down. Uh, just despise them so much. But yeah, I just think the Guardians are a good team. They could do it. I mean, there's no reason why they couldn't. Yankees do have more firepower and are probably going to be the favorites if this matchup happens. But yeah, I'm rolling with the Guardians.
That's fair. Um, I also, like you, really hate the Yankees. So this hurt me to do, but I'm trying to be right.
Don't do it, dude.
So
Don't do it. There's some things you just
I,
can't
I,
do.
I had the Yankees beating the Guardians. Gosh,
Being right actually better than that though. Like that had to hurt writing the Yankees down.
it did.
I don't
It
know
did.
how you low-key
Again,
want it to happen because you want to be right. Like doesn't that mess you up a little bit?
yeah, it messes me up a lot,
Sleepless
actually.
nights.
Quite
Sorry
a
for
few.
bringing it up.
Yeah, I mean, and since we've had to delay this podcast, I haven't slept in like 4 days thinking
Yeah,
about the fact I have to talk about it.
yeah.
Um, so really just a lot of losses there. But Yankees got Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, really good bullpen, Luke Weaver, Clay Holmes, Tommy Conley. Like, goes on and on and on. Just another team like the Dodgers. There's so much money there. So much money that they've such a good team. So I think they come out of the AL and make it to the World Series. Unfortunately, let me be clear, very unfortunately.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right, and to the NL, got Phillies Padres. Rolling with the Phillies. Like I said, once this team gets hot, there's no stopping them. They beat the Padres in the playoffs before. This isn't anything new to them. They're gonna smack them. Hell yeah, baby. Go Phils.
Dude, this kid is dreaming over here. Like, can you all tell just how delusional he is? Is there a critical thought going on at this moment in time? I don't think
It's
so.
gonna happen, dude.
I really hope I'm right.
Dude,
I will be hurt if I'm
7
wrong.
games, bro.
No. We're not
Not only
talking
is it
about
happening, it's happening in 6, dude.
Oh, okay. In 6, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Whatever. On to my pick.
Enough of
Mets
clowning.
Dodgers. Yeah, enough clowning around talking about Red October. Woo!
Hey, man.
No. Mets Dodgers. I got the Dodgers coming out on top there. Same argument as the round before. There's
That's
so
gross.
much money there.
That's
Like,
gross.
ugh.
Dodgers,
I know.
Yankees, I can't.
Like, you think I wanted that? No. No, I did not.
That's terrible.
That is like the worst World
Trouble.
Series I can think of
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Who you got winning it,
The Phillies, bro.
dude? You're making this
Phillies.
worse as we get deeper.
Yeah. Anyway, I already got the delusional comment a round ago. What are you gonna say now?
I'm
gonna
just
be
going to
sorry I
reiterate that
asked.
I don't think there's any neurons firing in your brain.
Dude,
They don't exist.
they have listen, they have the pitching, they got the bats. What more is there to baseball? They got the heart, they got the camaraderie. I mean, come on. Do they have the bullpen? I don't know. But the starting pitching is as good as it gets, and the bats are good, man. Like, are they going to win it all? I mean, maybe not, but to pick them is certainly not delusional.
We'll see. We'll see.
We will see.
In my Yankees and Dodgers World Series, I've got the Dodgers coming out on top. It's in the battle of money. They have more money on their team. So,
If the battle of money has to happen, I want it to go that way. So,
oh, I agree. I do not want the Yankees to win. That is my worst nightmare and would actually keep me up at night.
yeah. It's
So.
it's just a shame like the second worst nightmare or whatever is going to happen as the alternative.
Yeah. I mean, since the Red Sox have beat them in a World Series as recently as 2018, honestly, couldn't tell you, forgetting at this current moment in time. Dodgers winning is okay. They lost recently. Red Sox got the win. It's whatever. Yankees winning, detrimental to my health.
Yeah.
So, that can't happen.
Yeah, there's levels to this.
Exactly. Now, I kind of want to jump in talking about some of the teams a little bit now that we've given our predictions here. You, the Phillies, myself, the Dodgers, both going with an NL team.
Yes.
Which makes sense. I think it's generally stronger than the AL this year. I want to hear about that strong pitching and great bats that the Phillies got. Like, come on, tell me all about it.
Dude, I mean, listen, can I use the shadows as an excuse like the players wanted to? Did you see any of that? So
I did not.
hearing it, dude. But some of the Phillies players because they were playing at like 4 p.m. over the weekend, and the shadows till like the 6th inning like really mess with the batter's eyes, and some of like the people in the field too. Like there were complaints coming that way too. But it was really cringe hearing some of the Phillies like mention it in the post game because it's like, dude, both teams are dealing with this. Like,
Exactly what I was going to say. Both
Yeah.
teams are dealing with the same
I know.
shadows.
And
bro.
but each Philly that like mentioned, and I don't remember which Phillies did, but each one that mentioned it, they did go back at the end and mention that. So they did at least acknowledge that they weren't the only team dealing with that. But it does hurt this Phillies team because, I mean, yes, I think our pitching is pretty good, our starting pitching anyway. But we're still known for our bats, and we need our offense popping. We can't have only 2-3 innings of baseball where these bastards can see. But I mean, I don't know how bad it is. I'm sure it doesn't help. Baseball's already maybe the most difficult sport there is. But yeah.
I would agree with that.
Point being, I did want to mention the shadows because that is frustrating, and even if it does hurt both teams, to limit the Phillies' bats to only like a few innings to make some things happen, that kind of sucks. But
Copium.
like I said, is for both teams. But yeah, I don't. Do you disagree? Like, do you think the Phillies don't have good pitching or good bats?
No,
Like, I think they're like a very
I do
complete
agree.
team.
Like Zach Wheeler is awesome.
Yeah.
One of the best starters in the NL right now, if not the best. So
Yeah.
an argument could definitely be made for the best, and he's been like that for 3
Years.
years now,
Yeah.
4 years now, something like that. So
Wheeling.
really dominant. So I respect that. Ranger Suarez is pretty good this year.
He kind of fell
So
off though.
he did.
I've
He
been
did.
I've been impressed with Sanchez, which they actually had him throw in Game 2 over Nola,
Yeah.
which kind of surprised me. But apparently his record at home is like phenomenal, and then whenever Sanchez is thrown on the road, it gets a little dicey. So I guess that's why. But overall, to have those four guys, that's a good group, and in playoffs, as you know, four is really all you need. So I really like that part of it. The bullpen scares the crap out of me though. I don't trust a single one. Like any one of them that comes in, I've seen them blow games. So like
Matt
those like
Strahm as
highlights
your
just
closer is
run through my
crazy.
head. What are you saying?
Matt Strahm as your closer is crazy. You can't
Yeah,
have
he's
him closing games.
no. And
You
like,
saw that today.
This guy,
Like
like he
you can't have, or yesterday, I guess. You can't have him closing games, man.
yeah.
Like
No, I agree. And I think that's part of the problem too, because I mean, at the end of the day, you got to trust these guys. This was a really good ball club, great record coming in the playoffs. You got to just go with your guts and go with what you did to get there. And when I see things like Strom closing, like that worries me. Like Rob Thompson's like not trusting his guys, not trusting the plan that got him this far, and straying away from it, doing some weirdo shit like that is only gonna freaking cause us problems and cause me health issues. So
I'm a fan. Thompson, experiment all you want, dude. Like Bryce Harper, shortstop. Let's see it. You know, like bring it out,
dude,
dude.
he's been phenomenal in the field though since going to first. Like
Yeah, he's
I
been
did
good.
not expect that transition. Like I thought they were going with a stick him here kind of thing, but no, he's been a great first baseman, which is really nice. So don't think we need to move him to shortstop, but
Are you sure? You don't want to see it for just a game?
no, maybe not in playoffs. Maybe not even in spring training. Like if we're playing down, like on a rehab assignment, then we can gamble it. Maybe.
No, I want to see it. Game 7,
Yeah.
World Series. Bryce Harper starting at short.
Jeez.
That would mean they'd have to get there, though, so actually I don't want to see it. I
Yeah,
retract my statement.
not even over the money game. You'd rather the money game?
Maybe.
Wow. I
I'd
know
have
you
to think
hate
about
Philly,
it.
but that is pretty telling.
Yeah, I really do. It's,
So Phillies Dodgers, like you want the Dodgers? I mean, I know you
yeah,
pick them, but what do you prefer?
prefer Dodgers.
Yeah.
100%.
Wow. Well, there,
My least favorite teams. Okay, so like for the NFL, Philadelphia is definitely bottom of my barrel. They are my least favorite NFL team,
yeah.
being from Philadelphia. Come over to baseball. I will say the Yankees do have my most hated spot.
Yes.
The Phillies are second. So
Sweet.
they're not last.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so like we talked about pitching there, but bats, like, you got Bryce Harper, you got Nick Castellanos, you got Kyle Schwarber, Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott. I mean, we can keep going. There is
Yeah.
a lot of great guys there. Real Muto. Like,
Yeah. And the
but
thing that I
Schwarber?
really like too is some of these guys like have the clutch gene too. Like you see it in
Oh,
all
yeah.
kinds of sports. Like some guys have it and some guys just can't do it. Like they're not gonna rise up to the occasion when the moment comes. But there's a handful of Phillies that like kind of have that gene, which is really exciting. I mean, Castellanos has hit so many walk-offs this year. Like talking out my ass, like probably 7. Like legit in one season. That's like crazy.
No, it is crazy. It is
And
crazy.
And that is out of my ass, but I'm not far off. Like worst case scenario, that's 5 and not 7 or whatever. It could be more. Like the guy just does this.
And we're talking
Harper,
walk-off hits here.
yeah,
Okay.
and Harper obviously clutch gene, and I mean the whole league just fears him, especially come playoff when like it's like every run is worth double what it was in the regular season when it's playoffs, and you really see it when teams have to pitch to guys like Harper. Like they just don't want to give him anything, and whenever they do, it's like the guy cracks it. Like it's amazing how talented some of these guys are. Just waiting on one pitch to just be misplaced, and that's all it takes.
Oh, 100%. I
But yeah,
mean,
and Schwarber's pretty clutch too. Like, I mean, he's climbing up like these rankings with like postseason home runs, and I mean, obviously to start a game with a home run, he's been crushing records like that all
like,
year.
him batting leadoff is such an interesting
So
strategy.
weird, but
Red Sox started that. I just want to say the Red Sox did
with
start that
with him
before.
specifically,
Yeah,
yeah, I
before
mean,
he came over to the Phillies. But for them to keep it going for, is this his second or third year on the Phillies? I forget.
this is his third.
I thought third.
Yeah,
Um, he hits so many home runs out of the leadoff spot,
it's
and he hits like
crazy.
220. Like it's so backwards of what you think out of a normal leadoff hitter,
Oh,
hitting
yeah.
maybe like 300 with 2 home runs on
And
the year or
I used
something
to
like
hate
that.
it. I used to hate that he was leadoff. For the longest time,
Hmm.
I would just bitch about it because I mean, obviously, you want to get some guys on before Buddy rips his dinger, but it doesn't annoy me nearly as much now because I've realized like he has a really good eye for the ball. Like
Hmm.
he works a lot of walks. Like he's not going to do anything stupid. And I feel like that's where Rob Thompson is leaning on, I guess, what is more important from a leadoff hitter. Is he just wants somebody with a head on his shoulders, like not going to do anything detrimental, and odds are he's going to get on or just hit a freaking dinger.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like I kind of thought about that way too at first. Him hitting leadoff it just felt really weird, but when you really think about it, it's 9 innings. It's not just the first time through the order, right? Where
100%.
it's the
That's a
first
great.
guy getting on, and then you try to clean him up with the 3 and the 4. I mean, you really got to think about when the lineup turns over. Your 7, 8, 9 bottom of the order guys not getting on is often typically stronger fielders than they are batters.
Mhm.
And if they get on, you don't necessarily want a contact guy coming up to hit another single, and then your 2 man grounds out and the inning's over. Like with Schwarber up at 1, you turn the lineup over. If you got 1 or 2 of your bottom 3 on, you've got a real chance at cashing in there rather than one single and then your 2 hits another single and then your 3 has. I mean, even the best hitters hit like 333. So 2 out of 3 times you're getting nothing out of that. So
Yeah.
I totally I came
Yeah,
around
that's a
to it
great
honestly
point.
once I really thought about it more. You
Yeah.
got to think about later in the game turning the lineup over.
Right. And in playoffs even where like I said, like every run means that much more and games are typically closer due to the stakes. But that being said, it's always a game then. Like if you're down 1 run, it's always a game. Like and like you said, that point's irrelevant once the lineup gets going and it flips over anyway. But yeah, if if the Phillies are home and it's the bottom of the first and they're only down 1 run, they're in it.
That's it's very true. Absolutely. I mean, your whole team can practically hit a home run on a dime. There's not many who
There's a
don't
lot of
have the
power.
ability to hit like 20
Yeah.
plus home runs.
It
So
was great to see
that's
Stotts hit too, like in such a crucial moment, because I feel like he's a player that's been struggling. I guess it would be last year. He was phenomenal, like just like totally on the upswing and just constantly getting better. And then this year happens, and he was slump city. His swing itself, like I think he was like trying to hit dingers, and that's just not him at all. Like he needs to just play baseball. Like he's the type of guy that just like whacks it, finds a hole for it, and frickin' spanks it over there. Like I don't need him trying to hit dingers or anything, and that was just really good to see him make that hit in that moment. All that pressure, not having a good season, really needing a hit, and he made it happen. And he wasn't trying to force a home run or be something that he's not. So that was great to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the reality is the Phillies are a good team. I don't want it. I don't want it. I can't deal with it.
That's
So
fair. You just got to deal with me.
that's worse.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah.
I'm as good as Philly gets, baby.
That's not
That's
saying
fucking-
much when the meter is like this big on like, oh, how good is it, and then still you're here. So
That's a pretty good cushion too. I have there. I don't think anyone's catching me. King of the shits,
okay.
baby.
We love it. All right, let's talk a little bit about the other team in that series. Just kind of discuss them really quick. The Mets. I mean, marquee guys for them this year. Jose Iglesias. Okay, what the hell is going on with Jose Iglesias? Man is old as hell. Struggles to find consistent time on teams in the past like 2-3 years. Mans is just coming out hitting 337 right now. Like that is just
Crazy.
incredible. And he might be the best defensive. I think he's playing second right now, actually, for them because they got Frankie for short. So he is one of the best, if not the best, defensive infielder in the game. Like that was his calling card because he also played for the Red Sox previously. Was defense. He was an okay hitter, but never great. But 337,
Yeah,
what
that's
are we
pretty great.
talking about, bro? I just said the best hitters hit like 333. Don't get me wrong, some a little hit a little better than that. I was
Yeah.
trying to, you know,
No, we
generalize.
point.
But anybody that hits 337 for a season, that's a great damn season. So good for him.
Yeah, that's an amazing season, and I imagine he played most of the games too. Like this was a large sample
I think he
size.
came in about halfway, so he played, I think, 82 maybe.
Oh yeah, more
So
than enough for that
that's
batting average to be impressive.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're a good
I,
club. Got a lot of pesky guys too.
They do. I mean, they also got Frankie Lindor, who's
Mhm.
awesome.
He is.
Man, straight clutched up in that series against the Brewers. So
Yep.
good for him.
Yeah, and to get them there in their games against the Braves to end the regular season.
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
You
that's
too.
exactly what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the end of the regular season games.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. That was crazy, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Split that. Both the Braves and the Mets get in because they split that. The Diamondbacks were just watching, hoping that the Mets would sweep so they could still get in. Craziness. I loved
yeah.
it.
That's a pretty terrible situation for a Phillies fan, too. Because like two division rivals, and then you don't want the Diamondbacks because they beat our ass last year. So
Yep.
it's like, yeah. All that
three
being
bad
considered, I will
options.
take the Mets. Honestly, um, just got to take care of them now. And like I already said, they're a hot team. I'm a scared, but
Well,
they just have the talent. They just got to do it.
I think this year, honestly, the Mets are the worst out of those three teams to play. Especially the Braves right
The Braves,
now.
yeah. The Braves are
Because they lost
good.
Chris Sale,
Yeah.
who he's probably going to win the Cy Young over Zach Wheeler.
Right. Yeah.
So
Stud.
losing Chris Sale going into the playoffs, I mean, it definitely showed in their series against the who the heck did they play the first round? Padres. That's right, Padres. Yeah. Definitely showed they needed him out there. And I just got to say, as a Red Sox fan, I love to see Chris Sale succeeding right now. The man did get us a World Series, but dang, dude, why couldn't you stay healthy and do this for us? Like, we had to get rid of you because we needed to get younger, chop some money. But
Yeah. Where was the Cy Young?
yeah, exactly. So painful, but I'm still happy for him. But sucked to see his injuries come back out right before playoffs, and unfortunately his team
Yeah,
got
that's
eliminated.
that's the
but-
worst. You hate to see that.
Oh, yeah,
Work
100%.
your ass off all year for this moment, and then you miss it.
Yeah. But back to the Mets. They also got Pete Alonso, who obviously polar bear, home run animal, can't get around that.
Thing.
But also, crazy stat I heard the other day. I don't know if this speaks more. I think this speaks to both Mets infielders struggling as well as Pete Alonso's pitching ability. But he has, I think, 83% of all picks made by first basemen this
What in the
year.
league? That's crazy.
Yes. Exactly.
That's like he
He
deals
must be
with that
picking
every
every
freaking
throw.
throw.
Yeah, exactly. So
Insane.
maybe I'm a little bit remembering that incorrectly. I know he's definitely top of the MLB, but I'm pretty positive it was a low 80s number because I was
Yeah.
appalled when I saw it. That is
Yeah. That's a triple figure right
crazy.
there. That's crazy.
Yeah. So just absolutely unbelievable.
What is Lindor doing, man? Skipping it over to him?
I know. It's, I just got done complimenting Jose Iglesias as well, and
Yeah,
here we
right.
are a
Known
few
for his
seconds later.
defense. The polar bear
Maybe
thanks.
that's why his batting average is so high. He's taken no reps in the
Right.
field
Yeah.
at
It's one or
practice.
the other with him. He's
Yeah,
where the energy's going, that's where the output happens. So
yeah, yeah.
it's all about
Let's
time
quickly.
management, man.
Oh, 100%. You can only do so much. We're only human out here. Come on. Yeah. Let's talk about the Padres and the Dodgers a little bit. Padres, reasons they could get through. Fernando Tatis,
Yeah.
animal. His transition to outfield's gone pretty well overall. He's not like a complete detriment out there, so that's cool. You also got Manny Machado, obviously, who's had a really, really good year for them. Um, and a guy like we were talking earlier about, one hitter, what kind of hitter they want to be. If you want to go with an old school one hitter contact guy, they probably have the best in the game in Luis Arias. So you can't go wrong there. The guy just hits. He's got no power, nothing, but he gets on base all freaking
Yeah.
time.
He
So
was the
it's
batting average leader, wasn't he?
last year.
Last year.
Last year,
Okay.
yep. When it was on the Twins, got traded to the Padres this year, first year there, and definitely a big reason why they are back in the playoffs this year. So,
Yeah, they're pretty deep. They got a
yeah,
good team. I definitely
yeah. I mean,
like their
also in outfield
ball
besides
spot.
Tatis, they got
Profar.
Jorkson Profar,
Yeah.
Jack Merrill,
Merrill.
Jackson Merrill. Excuse me. Hope your nickname's Jack. Don't mean to offend you. Um,
Who's
but
their second baseman?
that's Arias.
Oh.
Arias plays second.
So who's their short? I'm like totally
Um,
blanking on a dude.
I'm also gonna blank right now. Couldn't tell you,
Okay.
to be honest.
Well, there
I know they
there's a
had C.J.
there's a
Abrams.
Padre I'm forgetting who's also like very good and important to that team. But
Like I'm trying to think. C.J. Abrams played there a little bit for them last year. Really young guy, but I can't actually think of who's playing there right now for them. So great question.
yeah. Well, I know they were probably playing Kim there a little bit, but
True.
he went down with an injury. Yeah, maybe I'll think of it, but whatever. They got a
Who
good
knows?
team.
Exactly. Good team. Michael King, baller starter. So they've got their true ace, and with a good bullpen behind, hopefully they could definitely scrap something together with the other starters they got there. Yu Darvish is awesome as well.
Yeah,
So it's not like it's
playing
scrubs
baseball
behind
again.
Michael King.
it's good.
Yu Darvish is on the older side, but he's certainly not done yet. MLB is very cool in that way. That is, for pitchers especially, it's not that uncommon to see them get pretty close to 40.
Oh
Just
yeah,
'cause, you disguise your pitches well. You get good technique, good velocity, good movement.
yeah. And it's just
You're
all
good.
about
And even
health, really.
yeah, and even if the velocity falls off, if you know, disguise your pitches well, have good command, and got a lot of movement, you can pitch for a long time.
Oh yeah,
As long as you keep your elbow healthy.
yeah,
Big thing for pitchers these days. Got to keep that elbow healthy.
yes.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to add, or should we move on to the Dodgers?
No, I'm good on Padre.
I'm glad to hear that. But I mean, Dodgers should be really quick on why they could win this, right?
Yeah,
They got
stacked.
the guy, Ohtani, first year in Dodger blue. I was gonna say Los Angeles, then I realized I can't say that. He's been there his whole career,
Yeah.
so he's just been on the other team.
Yeah,
Um,
this is like really unlucky. You would have been okay 90%
Yeah.
of the time.
I mean, I just want to say it is criminal that this is Ohtani's first playoff games.
I know. I literally didn't believe that because honestly, I thought this guy was like Superman, and I figured he was enough one of the years to just.
He is.
And if you have Trout healthy long enough, like maybe that would
The
have been enough
Angels
for them
are
to make
just
it one of the
so
years.
bad.
Yeah.
They ruined both Michael Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Like, oh, the Michael Trout
How do you
stuff is
let
one of the things
talent
that
like
hurts
that
me
leave, let alone go winless?
because clearly they were never going to win with them. So why shove 600 million into them when you're never going to win with them? You have
Right.
to reset. You have to.
Yeah, it's
Um,
true.
and they had to keep Mike Trout. And even with injuries, they got to pay him a lot because he's Mike Trout.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
been there longer, hometown guy. I shouldn't say hometown guy. He's from Philadelphia,
Yeah, he
unfortunately.
is. Let's.
What I mean is, his entire career there. So to the fans, he is the idol that they look up to. So if they have to choose between the two, I understand why they went Mike Trout. But Angels,
Yeah.
screw you. You ruined both of them. I think Mike Trout had a chance to be the best player to ever play the game. Injuries definitely played a part in that, but your team building around him and lack of success getting him any help to get to the playoffs,
Yeah.
screw you.
I mean, based
You
on like
suck.
talent and I guess stats excluding wins, he was definitely on pace to like be the best ever.
Hmm.
But like you said, injuries just brutal for the guy. It really sucks because you want to see the greatness before it freaking retires on you. But
Yeah,
yeah, at
we'll
least we have
see.
Otani. He's got a lot more in the
Yeah.
tank,
I
and
mean,
my gosh, he's crazy. First 50
50-50
and
season.
50. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Crazy.
like he's an animal. He's gonna hit home runs. He's gonna steal bases, and he's also gonna hit for average. Complete hitter. Like
Yeah.
there's really nothing else that could be said about it.
And next
So
year he's gonna strike your ass out.
I'm curious if they ever actually have him get back on the bump. With as good of a hitter as he is, don't get me wrong, I understand he's also a good pitcher, but do you risk all the injuries that come with being a pitcher, or do you just let
Yeah,
him hit 50 home runs and steal
right.
50 bases every year?
That's a great question, and I too have had that thought. Like, I don't think it's clear as day that you let this guy pitch again. Like, I
Exactly.
personally, I wouldn't. I wouldn't let him
That's
pitch.
what I'm saying. Because
No way.
here's the thing. A big part of his game is the stolen bases, obviously. He stole over 50 of them. If he goes back to pitching, I bet you his steal numbers fall between 20 and 30, which
Oh
is
yeah,
still very
and
good. Don't get me wrong. But you can't tire the legs out when you got to be pushing off all the time as a pitcher.
yeah. I mean, if you look at it, I actually looked at this like a few weeks ago when he actually officially did the 50-50 at
Hmm.
his steals in past years, and you're exactly right. When he's pitching, he is not running the bags like that at all. It's I
Hmm.
don't even think he might have hit 20 like in a season, but like you said, it wasn't over 30.
Yeah. So, really not a lot else that we really need to say outside of Otani, just because he is that good, even though there's so many other great players on that team to round it out on top of Otani. You got Mookie Betts.
Yep.
You got Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
You got Yamamoto, another pitcher there. Like, great. Great bullpen. Blake Trinan had an absolutely insane year. So, there's just so much on that team. And that's why I went with them to win. They've got so much talent.
They're stacked.
So stacked. But let's switch back to the AL here. I'll start with the Tigers. Reasons they could win. I would love to see it, but I'm just going to come out and say I don't think they're quite at championship level yet. To be honest, the NL teams, I could see all of them possibly winning it. Truly, they've got the talent there. And in baseball, anything can happen. It really is all about being hot at the right time. And
And just
the
for the
Tigers
record,
definitely are.
that includes the Phillies. Just want to make sure there.
So back to the Tigers. um, again, like I said,
Choice.
um, I'm done with you.
Yeah. Ignore me entirely.
Yep. Um,
Back to the
Tariq
Tigers.
Skubal. Yeah, Tariq Skubal. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's just
Any game he takes the bump, I'd bet the Tigers are going to win. Seriously, he's that good this year. So that with the combination of a young outfield, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, Matt Vierling, all playing super well. Riley Green really finding his footing in his second or third year in the MLB now. Highly touted prospect. Struggled a little bit his rookie year, but he's definitely found his footing now. Combination of those three plus Skubal, maybe. But I'd say out of the teams left, they're probably the least likely to win the World Series. Is how I would describe that.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. Yeah. You know what? I would definitely agree with that.
Well, I'm glad we see eye to eye on something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
The bums of the playoffs. Congrats.
hey, they're there and the Red Sox aren't, so I can't say shit. So,
That's true. But I can.
yeah. I hope they make it farther now just so I can call back to that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, be scared.
These
Be
callbacks are
scared.
going to be the death of me.
Oh, yeah. No, we're both just going to get screwed by them down the line, dude.
Oh,
We're setting ourselves up for failure.
Well, we've got a lot of opinions, so.
Yeah, it's for very opinionated people. What can we
Yes.
say?
Yes.
Out of the Guardians, why could they win it? Talked about it a little bit earlier. Bullpen, crazy. Manuel Clase, maybe best closer in the game. Jose Ramirez, Steven Squan. Stephen Kwan. Let me correct myself there. Squan. That's awesome. And then Josh Naylor just hits so many home runs for them. Was really hot average-wise early in the year, too. That kind of fell off, but home run production stayed up. But those three with the combination of Emmanuel Clase and the rest of their bullpen, that's why they could really make a run here.
Yeah. I mean, I have them making a run, that's for sure. Yeah.
You do indeed.
Can they take down the juggernaut Yankees?
I'd love to see it. I want any of the other three teams to get there before the Yankees get there. So
Oh, yeah.
however that happens, I'm really good with it, truly. Royals, they're up next, and they are not far in front of the Tigers when it comes to teams that I think could
Yeah.
possibly pull off a World Series win here. I think it's a team like they won 53 games last year. And when I said bad teams become really good teams, I'm talking like, a 70-win team goes to, a World Series level team. And Royals, I don't think they're going to go from 53-ish, whatever it was, wins to a World Series team quite
Yeah,
in one
it's
year.
a crazy turnaround.
Yeah, that would be nuts. So I don't think they're quite there yet, but hey, it's a possibility. They're here now.
Yeah.
So why could they do it, right?
Yeah. And they
little
should be
guy
proud
named-
regardless, honestly.
Oh, 100%.
Already advanced around in playoffs as well, so.
This is a win of a year for the Royals already.
Right.
So,
Yeah. It's all icing at this point.
yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. Making this far in the playoffs, it makes it more likely free agents will come to you as a team. You got a young team with potential, so bring in some solid vets. So it makes you more marketable in that way. You get more money because you're playing more games, so maybe the owners are willing to spend a little more. So a lot of positives just for getting here. And like we said, where they were at last year, this is a major win every year for them.
Mm-hmm.
But how they get here, why could they move on? Guy named Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
He's pretty freaking awesome. So
He's
gotta give him
crazy,
his
dude.
props. And old man Salvador Perez. Give this man his flowers. I love this guy. I love this guy. He's been catching forever. I love me some Salvi Perez. So good for him. And then they've got some pretty nasty pitchers on the roster, honestly. Seth Lugo, Cole Reagans, Michael Waka. Which Waka, I mean, I did not expect the career resurgence he had the last 2 years. Last year with the Red Sox, this year with the Royals, both low 3 ERAs after the years before that were like 5.6. So really cool to see a career bounce back like that. I do really love to see things like that. So they've got a pretty nasty starting pitching staff, and Bobby Witt and Salvi Perez. I'm not quite sure outside of those two if they've got what they need to support that pitching staff. Even though it might not be a lot that they need, not sure they're quite there yet. And the Yankees are a tough team to beat. That's a real tough test in the divisional series for them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely wouldn't want to go up against them until it's for it all, Like, you want to be an NL team, and you want to avoid these guys entirely.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And to wrap it up here, we got the New York Yankees. Again, just another money-heavy team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Judge, Juan Soto. I mentioned the bullpen guys earlier. Weaver, Holmes, Conley. Awesome. And I hate it. I freaking hate it. Anthony Volpe, blah. Another guy, blah. Verdugo, screw you, Verdugo. Gosh, like
Piss
former
off,
Red Sox
Verdugo.
in a Yankees uniform playing in the playoffs is always just a really painful sight to see, especially when
God.
it's a young guy.
Oh,
So-
no. Yeah. That was a stab
I
in the
just-
back when he went there, and then another
No, we
stab
traded
now.
him, so
Oh, we
it's on the
traded
Red Sox.
Cool.
But still, like,
Did you get a
gosh,
good return at least?
it was okay. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
He was kind of stagnating a little bit with the Red Sox. Like, I understand the decision, but then to go see him succeed with another team,
Yeah, it still sucks.
especially when it's the Yankees, makes it just 100 times worse. Hard to deal with. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got anything to add on the Yankees, my guy?
No, I hate them. You did good, buddy. We don't like this. We hate that they are what they are, and we want them to fail. That's basically
You're
what
right.
it is, man.
I'm glad we came out of this discussion as we wrap up here with we're on the same page.
Yeah,
Screw
that's
the
nice.
Pinstripes. Screw the Phillies. That's what you said, right?
No, I didn't say that, dog.
I kind of, I really thought I remembered you saying that.
No,
So,
no, you're tweaking.
all right. Well,
You're
we'll talk about it later. Anyways, with that, we wrap up our first Baseball Palm City Chucks episode. It was super fun.
Yeah. Let us know how we did in the comments. I am a Phillies guy. We know this. Baseball is not my thing, per se. But always fun talking sports with Chuck over there. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun. But let us know how we did. Don't be shy. Tear me up if I was being a fool. Let me know.
He was being a fool. So
Yeah.
I expect to see some things in the comments.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, we will be back at you later this week with our usual NFL
Yes.
episode. Looking
Home
forward
sweet
to that
home.
coming in a few days. And we're gonna look to record another baseball episode after these the divisional series wraps up, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what we're shooting for. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Later, PCC.